names again?
I'm Joe, and this is Sharonda.
And you're from Eastern Shore Crisis Response Center.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, what crisis? Here's a flyer. It says Eastern Shore Crisis Response Center. Resource hotline 7 days a week, 365. Mobile crisis team, 9 a.m. to midnight. Let's see, people in crisis, behavioral health issues, substance use. Don't have substance issues. I don't do any drugs or drink. Don't even do caffeine. Behavioral health issues. No, I'm intellectual and I converse with people. But
That's a good thing.
people in crisis. I think the world's in crisis more than anything.
I hear you.
I think every institution around this planet is a little sick right now. But there's always hope. Intellectual disabilities. No, I guess you could say I have obstacles, but I wouldn't call them disabilities. I mean, if a person is actually moving forward from trauma,
That's a good thing.
no, it's a good thing. I think so. Does the trauma go away, or are they just perceiving it differently?
I think you have a good
No, it's an absolute valid point. But the tetrapharma cost of pharmaceuticals and the institutions using the two sleepy snakes that go up a pole with wings, us, that manipulate our minds, calcify our frontal lobes, and keep us down, keep staring in the rearview mirror, is the whole object of the game because it keeps you guys employed and keeps everything else in the industry employed. I know the scam, but it's a good business. If I was only business minded, oh, absolutely. But
One thing we also do is we come out and help people get connected with resources in the community if that's what they need or want.
that's what I was trying to do. Who actually sent you guys?
I don't know who called us. We have the 888 number.
Yeah, I think you guys called me and I spoke to a lady for a good 45 minutes, and I explained to her in detail. I don't wish ill foul to. I mean, if you don't know why who sent you, and it's just a random person calling somebody up, you take the time to go out and go to them because I can show you a bunch of documentation. I have files. I have photos and records of a lot of peculiar things.
Okay.
We can say it's government related. We can say it's a lot of things. I mean, what I did for the government, coming out of the Chris Kyle Hospital a couple times. Let's see, secret societies. I guess you should say Freemasonry, or even above the Freemasons, which is another group called No Per. I'm a little bit above that, so I never made any promises, and that's my whole thing. I'm letting people know what's really going on with reality and in the world, and this is why stupid stuff like this happens. I'm not saying you ladies are stupid. I think you're very intellectual, but the whole conspiracy of police being called on me constantly, you guys showing up, mental health, when all I'm trying to do here is spread truth, understanding. Understanding is good. It's another word for fellowship. So if I came to you, are you religious?
Well, that doesn't really
No,
matter.
actually, do you believe in a higher power?
I do.
Okay. So if I went to a numerous religious organizations, even the scientific field, as a scientist, and I got a 600-page book here I've written, completely explaining my experiences and what's really going on in the world. Top secret, not top secret. I had a radio show, and my co-host was named Lance Moore. He was anonymous as #1 inside guy. He was found murdered in his closet before he could testify in federal court. So I know what I'm talking about. You look him up. Don't believe nothing anybody ever tells you. Don't believe nothing I say. Look it up yourself.
I hear you.
His
I'm not familiar with a lot
his
of
name's
things
Lance
you're
Moore.
talking
You know what anonymous is, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't agree with all their philosophies, but he worked for AT&T, and AT&T in Alaska is on the base. That's where I was living at when I had the radio show. And he leaked out a lot of information about the same technology our government uses, whether it's Navy SEALs or other forms of fashions of government. 0 to 16 hertz is the same frequency your thoughts fire and synapse is the same frequency that we communicate with subs. So do you think Obama really cares about people talking to their family? Or is he dishing out, not saying Obama, but they call them Obama phones. You think they're really there for, call your mom? No. It's basically the chip in the hand plus that. You know, I can show you documentation here.
Well,
That,
that's
no, because I'm gonna blow your lady's mind because you came here for nothing. So I might as well teach you something. That's a good thing.
okay.
All right, so this here is no, I don't think it's this file here. Well, I'll explain to you.
Okay.
I can show you if you want to. If you don't believe me, I'll show you documentation. All right, since I came forward about what I did for the government and what's going on, I've literally been hit by a car. I've been attacked. I get harassed everywhere I go. I've been to 4 senators, TSA, FBI, Congress people, all turn me down. I get attacked on camera by a federal guard, beat with a metal pole. I got the paperwork for all this. So finally I just let him handcuff me. Police came, Salisbury police came. And I told him, after he got to explain to the guard, I was like, well, look at the camera footage. You're in a building, look at the camera footage. Look at the camera footage, let me go. It's a no-brainer. If I did something wrong, they would arrest me in a heartbeat, right? Right? Okay. So they let me go, went to the ER, got evaluated, bruises up my back, bruises on my ass, bruises on my throat. Cut your phone off. Yeah, that's how it works. That is how it works. You ever seen the movie Gremlins? Gremlins, remember Gremlins 2? Remember the gremlin that works through your phone? God telling you in a secret way. Alright. So, yeah, that's how it works. But, alright, so I get attacked by this guard, I go to the ER, then I go to the magistrate, I press charges. I get a letter coming back from the, who is it, not the magistrate, right down here downtown, I can't remember the actual term, state's attorney. Get a letter from state's attorney saying that my charges are dropped because of no probable cause. Completely absurd, because if you're on video camera beating a pole, you don't need to have probable cause, because crazy people do that weird kind of stuff and cause pain and suffering. So, I went to, what is it, the detectives, or actually the detectives found me here in Salisbury Police, Detective Underwood, Smallwood, and Detective Billiard, and Detective, I'll get your name here real quick, Billiard or something else, I can't remember exactly the name, because it's recording, I can't back out of it and pause. So, they found me just randomly walking down the street. My first response to them is, hey, I wasn't holding a sign saying Randy so-and-so. How'd you guys find me? Just randomly walking down 13. And I was like, look, if you guys are that good, why can't you catch criminals? That's how it works. So they talked to him. I spoke to him for a little while. And he told me that the lead detective was Detective Smallwood, and he'll be taking up my investigation about the guard attacking me. Well, a few days later, you know, after I got turned down or denied about being able to press charges on this guard, even though I didn't want to press charges on the guard because I know how mind control works and I know how to detect. I can give you technology if you want to hear it, but I don't know. I'm not saying you're not intelligent, but if you don't want, I'll give you a brief synopsis. There's 4 different types of wavelengths that can use mind control. You got alpha waves, beta waves, and delta waves. Right? Actually 3. So alpha waves create basically a human recorder. This is why you have spies using alpha waves. Then you have beta waves, which produces sex slaves or stick your hand in acid. Okay, I'll do it. Then you have delta waves. Delta waves will produce a cold-blooded killer. That's why you have Delta Force. You would think the military is all about the alpha, but they don't have an alpha force. It's the Delta Force. Why? Because they can kill and not feel it. Not feel it. Necessarily. Human beings do individually, case by case, but this is how they can get them to do the acts. So I get my case turned down. I talk to Detective Smallwood. Detective Smallwood comes. He says his supervisor told him he's not allowed to investigate anymore, and Homeland Security's picking up my case. So I'm like, what the heck? I know what's going on. But I literally, I've never had, I have a TBI, I've never hit my head like in a car accident or anything like that. It's basically from being radiated so much with using energy. You've heard of the ambassadors down in Cuba who got attacked by energy weapons, right? Remember seeing that on the news? So you know it's real.
I believe so, yeah.
You believe it's real. In your heart of hearts, okay, it's real. I'm just letting you know it's very real. So went to Baltimore to Homeland Security, and I got photos and videos of it. Because when I called them up on the phone, they kept every time I look up the number on my phone on Google and stuff. This is how it works because it's working through technology and stuff like that. That's why I'm gonna have multiple recorders recording this because I don't know which one's gonna disappear on me. I know it sounds conspiracy-like, but it's only a conspiracy if you don't finish the conversation.
Okay.
That's why you guys are here, so I'm gonna talk. Since you get paid, why not? Alright. So, I know, right? Mind blow. So, let's see, where was I? I got hit by the gnome to keep me quiet. So every time I look up the phone number, it gives me a wrong number. One of the phone numbers it gave me, and I got photos of that on my screenshot of the phone, was a Checkers restaurant in New York. Then the next phone number was a small town sheriff's office in Delaware. Finally, after rooting, I got the number to Homeland Security. I got a call center. She explained to me, her agent 227. She explained to me that there's 4 major call centers for Homeland Security, and I was in the wrong one. Couldn't get a hold of them. Right, make a long story short. So I went to Baltimore to the federal building there and went to go talk to Homeland Security. Because I actually have a case that's being investigated by Homeland Security, so I should be allowed to go talk to Homeland Security since they're investigating this case, right? Makes sense. Well, I walk in, I don't know how much federal funding they get, but their office is completely empty, no secretary, dark room. It's a blank, empty room. I don't know if I was the front, whatever it is, I don't know where our money's going towards, but I pounded on the back door because I had a note saying any shipping, bang on the door. So I banged on the door, agent came, I got him on video, and basically, as soon as I explained myself and I told him a little synopsis of what's going on, and I had some more, I guess, intel to tell him, and all of a sudden, the bailiffs downstairs, the guards downstairs, throw me out of the building. I'm like, you guys, they're apologetic. You know, you can see, you understand how it works after a while. So I got all this on documentation. If you do want to see it, the more I can share truth to people, the more. If you're not curious, if you're not curious, then there's probably a voice in your head telling you it's not that interesting. And do you always trust the thoughts that pop in your head, the ones you're too embarrassed to admit to? This is why nobody talks about it. This is why nobody talks about it, because this is why we're completely full of war, violence, hate, greed, suffering, every other 7 deadly sins and spectrums of the rainbow. You know, so this is how it works. People are too embarrassed to talk about what's really going on. And the reason I ask you if you believe in a higher power, because I go to churches too. I go to different ones, synagogues, churches, mosques. I read parts of I read Bible, I read ancient Hebrew, the Quran. I read all Buddha, teachings of Tao. I read them all, and they're all right on a perception of the latter. So they're all pieces to a big giant puzzle, even the scientific realm. So I go to these churches, and what do you think the biggest question of it all is for most of society? The proof of intelligent design, right? Would you say that's a big question? You think churches would like to have that information? To prove, if there was somebody who could prove a God or a source, a creator existed with Euclidean geometry, sacred geometry, religion, faith, spirituality, and mysticism, and quantum mechanics. If you could prove and disprove Darwinism to an extent, would you say that would be interesting for a church to teach?
I suppose so.
I get cops calling me all the time. Got a 600-page book here. Explains it all. But I'll give you an example. Alright, so there was these 3 science experiments done in the early 1900s. One's called Airy's failure, one's called the Michelson-Morley experiment, and one's the Sagnat theory. And these 3 experiments triangulate proof that there's an ether, basically a visible realm. Quantum mechanics calls it an interference pattern, 11, 10, 11 dimensions, whatever it is. Then you have this, it also proves that the speed of light is slowing down, right? These three experiments, there's technology that was advanced from it that are used in fighter jets and our government and other governments use for the navigation, for the bombing and positioning. So the high echelons know about it, but if you ask a 30-year-old professor in relativity or quantum mechanics, they've never heard about these science experiments. Kind of weird, right? So science being a new religion, they're just as corrupt as the top floors of most religious institutions. So I'll show you. Everything I'm explaining to you here, I'll just tell you, I got a letter on my fridge from the Catholic Church saying I'm banned from the Catholic Church. I can't set foot, but I also got banned from another church. You know, I try to get help, trying to get pro bono work, because I'm basically forced to be a broke, stupid veteran who apparently wants to make society perceive that I'm the crazy one. Hence you guys coming here and cops get called on me for everything. And I'm talking to you no more disrespectful, I mean maybe a little sarcastic with other people. Because, you know, if they want to point out I'm talking over their head, I'll tell them, you know what, maybe we need to catch up. Because when society does this transition, this polarity shift, you think you're ready. I'll give you another example. You've heard of Congressman Cortez, right? In New York. She wants to pass that bill where if anybody makes over $10 million, she wants to take 70% of that earning. You heard of that? Most people, most of the society who don't know laws, rights, and I don't want to say they're uneducated because they can do things that I can't do. You know, I can't build a house or I can't paint a picture or stuff like that. So I'm not saying they're unintelligent, but in parts of the thing, they're very. I don't want to be like disrespectful. They're lacking the big picture, right? So you got Congressman Cortez who wants to pass this law to make anybody who makes over $10 million 70% of their cash. So all these elite people or wealthy people are going to give up 70% after 10 million, and most of society who's not educated to the big picture of why it's really happening is that's a lot of money. And if you look at the track record of our history in the MIC, the military industrial complex, that's a lot of money to use. So if they do take all that money, what do you think they're going to use? More underground bases. I can tell you where a whole lot of underground bases are at.
Let me ask you this, how long were you in the military?
I kind of still am for what I don't get paid for it, but they know where I'm at. They know where I'm at. So, yeah, I mean, and it's not just the government. I mean, I'll give you another example. You've heard of the VA, right? Do you know what you get here? I'll draw it out for you.
Are you being good through the VA for any services?
I talked to an outside source. I don't deal with the VA very much because they are not there to help veterans. I'm gonna let you know why. All right, so you got the letters VA, right?
Yep.
When you overlap a V and an A, you know what that makes.
What's that?
Well, it's a Freemason symbol, but it's also the diagram symbol with the frequency of Saturn, moon worshiping.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know. So and you can look it up. The Freemasonry actually has this thing called the Magic Square, and the Magic Square is basically let's see if I have it here. You can look it up on your phone. I'm not. Basically, it's like a tic-tac-toe board with 1 through 9 on it in random orders. But if you go to 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, and to 7, 8, 9, it makes the exact same symbol.
Okay.
And that's called the Magic Square. It's part of their 47th problem, Euclides, geometry, and frequency, Hegelian dialectic on mind. Basically, Hegelian philosophy is basically how to persuade a society to basically walk all over them and then enjoy it. Basically, it's what it is. It's what we're going through right now and through the histories of time. So I'll give you an example. You have a Hegelian philosophy, you have a thesis, and an antithesis, right? So let's just say our thesis is fat, right? What an antithesis or the polarity would be skinny. And over time we would know delegate or come to an agreement. The husky is the agreement. Then over a little bit of time, generation, half a generation, whatever it is, that's the new thesis. Then we're going to sway you over, depending on which way they want you to go. Just like Democrats, they started the KKK, they started the NRA, but now they're all about the other way around because it keeps hate alive. The word humans comes from the word man of many hues. And the three sons of Noah, Japheth, Shem, and Ham, one was black, one was brown, one was white, and all three were Caucasians. Kind of odd we love to put the word race behind something with such beauty. Just to let you know, if a building was on fire, the top floor was, would you warn people not to go in it? Would you feel compelled by God or a source to say, don't do that, it's dangerous?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I do. Okay? Because every top floor of every college, high school, university, government, judicial system, religious system, all of it, top floor is on fire. Just like, you know. And it's not saying that the original people who came up, who were given these visions of how to help their view of their circle or what they were trying to help, not saying they're bad, but they're all passed on organically. There's children's children are running the show now. They will fight hard to keep their piece of the pie so much to the extreme that they still, the higher salons, communicate with the other salons, the other slices of pie per se, to keep their slices of pie valid to the certain group that they have that believes in their validity. Okay. So I'm not saying that there's not bad, good. It's good and bad, bad and good. It's case by case, and there's a person working on a slope in Alaska who's taking care of his family, putting them through college, thinks that he's doing the right thing, doing good. But then you get another person who knows how pollution happens, saying you're making Swiss cheese out of your state, polluting the heck out of your planet. Is it good or bad? Perspective. Now I'll give you another example of where you're at. This is why you have Navy SEALs and elite and black ops that guard pyramids around the world and caves around the world and certain topographic points and meridians around the world and underground bases and stuff like that. Let's see. Just, you know what the sun is, right? So this guy. Alright, it's a fiery red ball, right? Alright. You need oxygen for fire to burn. For a planet to be, for a mass made of hydrogen and nitrogen or whatever, how's it burning? Because if it had oxygen or water on it to burn off to make the fire, you would see an atmosphere at least dissipate. An atmosphere causes a bend in light, and you don't see that when you see NASA photos and stuff like that. I'll give you another example. The sun rises on the horizon, it's bigger, then it gets smaller in the sky. But when it sets, it doesn't do that. Alright? And the moon doesn't do it at all. Kind of weird. It's even closer. Now the moon travels around the Earth about 30,000 miles per hour, and a solar eclipse like we had last year. I was actually in Oregon when that happened. I was at basically 99% of the eclipse. But so it's supposedly going 30,000 miles around the Earth, right? And from first touch to the sun to eclipse it till it ends, it's about 7 minutes for a complete eclipse, but about an hour for the whole shebang to go. If that's true, how can a full moon last the entire evening? Alright, how about another one? If I had HIV, HIV is, everybody knows, it's 100 times smaller than a red blood cell. Mosquito lands on me and bites you, but you won't get HIV. But it can transfer malaria. It's not part of the system. It's not part of the binary coding that we're in. I don't want to be cliche. I'm not going to say the M word. But we are consciousness. And here's the sad thing. The speed of light is known to be breaking down, but our consciousness is faster than the speed of light. Our thoughts can transcend time and space per se. And I'll give you an example. It's the same way as how society can move forward for trauma and drama and stuff like that because they perceive it wrong. And I'll give you an example of transcending time and space. You see a car accident on the corner of the street, and it's a red car, it's a blue car, it's a green car. I like using those colors because they're the primary colors. It's not yellow, and it's attractive light. That's why you got red, blue, green cables on the back of your TV and not yellow. Alright? So, you see red car hit blue car hit green car. Police comes over, says someone got hurt. Can you please testify and do the right thing? No, I'll testify my reality, my truth for you, and go to court. You testify your truth. Red car hit blue car hit green car. That's my reality, Your Honor. That's the truth. I'll bet my life on it. Then all of a sudden they show a corner camera from the stoplight, shows the footage. Completely different. Now, it's not what you perceive to happen, right? And now, technically, that you got trustworthy, legitimate, logical, defined information, then you technically transcend time and space and go back in your personal timeline to view it differently. This is how trauma can be passed. So, I mean, for you guys being sitting here, I'm talking to you no more differently than I'm talking to anybody else.
So can I ask you a question? I know you were saying you were looking for services and help. What kind of help and services were you?
I'm not really looking for services. I talked to a psychologist, and the only reason I'm talking to her is because, you know, I'm forced to keep, I'm basically forced in isolation, and, it's not too bad, but I have a daughter here, and I'm fighting for visitation. So I'm talking to a psychologist, just to get good and ready for when I go to court. Plus, what if I do get the visitation, we can have it supervised, possibly at my psychologist.
What is your...
So what help do you think I need?
I don't know.
No, I'm just saying, do you feel like you guys wasted your time?
No, but
I
we're just
don't feel our time's wasted.
No, you learned something. I mean, I would hope once you walk out of this door and the evil energies that surround me will pass, and some of that info I told you will sink in and not take it by the heart, but at least make a spark for you to go research it yourself. But I just told you how God. All right, I'll give you another example how there's a source and there's a creator. Intelligent design is correct, because if it's evolutionary design, like Darwin said, or survival of the fittest and all that kind, for a species or for all the species on the planet to evolve, you would go from a single cell organism to say a jellyfish to a fish to a frog to a snake to a monkey to a human being. I'll just give you an example. I'll point out the jellyfish. Now, if a jellyfish was to turn into a fish, that means that one jellyfish in one jellyfish lifetime would have to have such a mutation at birth that it grew sex organs. And find another jellyfish the same thing happened to in polarity to be able to birth and mate and have a fish. What are the odds of that compared to saying that we were put in a centrifuge per se and some intelligent design kind of made it happen? So I go to these church institutions and I go to all these places trying to spread truth. And, you know, you hear in a church that, you know, they want more fellowship, they want more people, they got greeting counters for the new people and stuff like that. And I go in and say, hey, I can express to you, I got basically thousands of hours of research to and trials and tribulations that can prove that there is a higher force that wants us to grow up. You know, just because Adam and Eve per se screwed it up for us doesn't mean we don't need to grow up and live symbiotically with the planet and minimize on pain and suffering. But I'll give you another example there. All right, you want to blame the capitalists. It's all the capitalists' fault. My topographic characteristic or my gender is why I'm not educated or why I'm not doing a good job or whatever victimized mentality that somebody wants to have. We have these things called library and the internet. So if you had the thirst for information, you won't, it doesn't matter. It's there. Instead of looking up sneakers and football games, maybe learn something. I'm kind of crass, but you know, it's the world we live in. You know.
And I appreciate everything you're telling me, but can I ask you a couple of questions?
You please ask away.
There's standard questions that
I know, you won't offend me.
Okay.
I heard them all. You know how many times against my will I've been put into a psych ward?
How many times?
So I'm bored, might have fingers on my hands. Because as a veteran, just because you're a veteran, you can get put under 72-hour hold for any reason. You know, that's just the law we live, so I won't take their pills. I'll go in there, I'll talk to the shrink or psychologist or witch doctor, whatever the angle the person wants to look at it when they're looking at it. Basically, it's sad. It's a very good business, because I tell you what, somebody with trauma or with a severe actual mental disability, which we can get into a whole nother conversation on what schizophrenia is and all that kind of stuff, because I'm gonna tell you what, it's been documented. There's a class action suit in Alabama that antidepressants actually calcify your frontal lobe. So then basically your brain is strictly running off your hypothalamus, and there is no peptide for unconditional love. It's all flight, fight. Do you know MIT just passed a new F to the flight, fight, and freeze?
No, I didn't know that.
It means fornicate. So I'll give you an example. Two male dogs that get angry, they're fighting each other. What happens when one now dominates the other dog? There you go. Get this little codependent whack thing going on. Also, if you're in mental health, it's called comorbidity. You know, you got a race car track in your mind that keeps whatever's keeping you down or making you. What I find is options are hope, and hope is holy. As long as you have options, you're not gonna put yourself or others in danger, because you have options. We all have options, how we perceive things. I don't get mad that you guys are here. I don't get mad that police are caught, because I know it's the hologram. I know it's the system of a higher force that wants to keep the truth from prevailing. This is why Martin Luther King was killed. When I went to Alabama, I actually walked a good portion from Selma to Montgomery, to downtown Montgomery. But here's the weird thing. He was born on the 4th of April and died on the 15th of January. Why are people worshiping or celebrating his day on the 21st or a Monday? Because the Monday is a worship for the moon, Moon's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Just to let you know. And the government enacted a bill to cause that to happen. But you know, who enacted the government to enact that is the bigger picture, and that's what nobody wants to talk about.
Well, let me ask you, like I said, let me answer a couple of questions. Have you ever tried to kill yourself?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I actually, I'll give you another cool thing. After my friend was murdered, they tried to get me to blow up a mall in Missoula, Montana, right outside of NORAD. They tried to get me to start up a truck with 450-gallon barrels of fertilizer in the back. I already went to the police about this, and FBI and TSA and all that. But they didn't care, like they already knew. Yeah, it's funny.
Well,
It's just worth a head shake. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Not very interesting at all. I know. Yeah.
and that's one of the things that we typically ask, if you
Yeah, it's
try
not
to
your
kill
fault.
yourself, or if you try to hurt somebody else, if you have those kinds of thoughts now.
No, what kind? They weren't my thoughts.
Okay,
That's not how V2K works.
okay.
I mean, are you familiar with V2K?
Probably
MK
not.
Ultra?
Probably not.
Well, next time you go talk to people who are really distressed or distraught, because I've been there in the grips of it. And now, see why it don't bother me anymore? I'll give you an example. I had that brain injury where I never hit my head. I've been microwaved so bad that the heels on my feet are calloused, even though I wear socks and shoes all day. I mean, like, dude, I have to grind them off. Not to mention, I had to get surgery on my testicles to where they grew about 17 cysts on them. They're each about the size of lemons. This is how microwaves work. And if you want to get mythological, that means fact. Myth used to mean fact, but now it means a story, but we call Bible studies mythology. So, well, I don't know what, it all depends on what you think myth is. But I'll give you a little story. Yeah, never mind. It's okay. I just got zapped.
You got that, okay.
I call it the gnomes.
Okay.
They just jump in your, it's basically you're, in the middle of a sentence, you're like, I forgot completely what I was going to
Well,
say.
I just lose my train of thought.
But no, I would hope that more people would be interested in what I'm talking about. I mean, I watch videos, I go to church, and the big question is, God exists, God doesn't exist, and there's conspiracy this, conspiracy that. They want to talk about aliens, and it's a lie, and is it food lying or food lying? Because the majority of stuff in there is not food. Aspartame are made of babies. When they signed, I'm like, all societies have eaten children since the early times, whether it be because of surviving through an ice age or the Kabbalah, Passover blood, the Mayans. There's a reason why it's going on more now. Today, symbiotically, they call it the offerings to Baal. I'll give you another little example of how God works. Sad, my Hegelian's sad and funny. But you've heard of chemtrails, right?
Yes.
The lines in the sky? Alright, the two main ingredients in that, the reason why that's there is for this mind control technology to work. It uses heavy metals in the sky, real fine particles, to be able to set the frequencies around. 0 to 16 hertz is usually what it is, the same frequency your thoughts, and that's why you won't admit to some of the really embarrassing thoughts you have, and I'm just letting you know, it's probably not you, and if it is you, it's okay, try to surf down something else, alright? But the two main ingredients is barium and aluminum, right? You put those two periodic tables letters together, it spells Baal. And the numbers on the periodic table would come out to 69. I think it's 53, or 56 and 13. I believe that's what the two numbers are, but they both add up to 69. 69 is the zodiac for Cancer, which nobody gets cancer anymore. But I'll give you another cool little tip. Do you know you won't get cancer if you had HIV? They're curing cancer with it, but it's not profitable. But you can live longer with HIV than you can with diabetes, which you're guaranteed to have by 30 these days because of all the poisons they put in your food. If you know what they're making artificial sweeteners out of, they're buying fetuses. Pepsi Cola spends millions of dollars. Gatorade, Kraft. Yeah, I mean, we're all offering about. And they just signed a bill in New York and in Delaware for third-term babies. And if you know exactly how that works to take that baby out, the baby's with no anesthesia, ripping the arms and legs off it while it's still alive to take it out. Well, no. That's because it's a drug. It's basically a drug. It's called adrenochrome. And not to mention, if you ever seen that movie Lucy, there's another ingredient that the body produces for during that birth. It's basically like the flock of adrenochrome. So you got these human eaters. It's real. I know it sounds crazy, but they would research with the signing in New York. See how happy they were to sign a bill. You never see politicians want to jump and do cartwheels for signing a bill. A little too happy for be signing about killing some kids. It spiritually, metaphysically, conscious, subconscious, and superconscious, the world's way more complex. It's way more, everything you perceive as being good and wholesome has a shelf break down the line, because if you're too much fire and brimstone preaching, people will get tired of it because they want a little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll and party. But then you have do as I will. Too much of that means stepping on anybody's toes to get where you're at, then people are going to suffer. So both of those extremes are extremes, right? So they're bad. It's called Jacob and Boaz in biblical terms. And those are actually the two pillars that are behind the Senate, in the Senate office. You know the history of where this stuff comes from. The history of words is so interesting. I mean, it's really interesting how people are not putting it together. There's some, you can research it and find it, but if you're not interested in it, I can only hope for you.
Yeah.
Because, I just gave you basically, with just a tidbit about how God exists, but you're probably not going to investigate it a little more. I hope you would. And you probably won't reiterate the information to anybody else. Especially if they're like somebody you care about and you want to help them see that you're important, everybody's important. But consciousness, see, here's the weird thing, reincarnation is true. Spirit consciousness never dies. If I was to flash a laser pointer in the sky at night, does that light go away or does it keep going? It goes for a long time anyway. It all depends on your view. It leaves Earth, but it goes per se, and that's us. We are light particles, and we are light waves and light particles. We're consciousness. And if you look at the medical symbol, you know what a caduceus is?
No.
No? You're in the medical field, don't know.
No,
I'm playing. Mental health is not the medical field?
Well, it's part of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's the two snakes going up a pole with wings. Okay.
Well, see, when you use those things.
You know what a sleepiest is, right? The sleepiest is just the one snake. We usually his rod down and ate the snake. He turned his rod into a snake, and his snake ate the Pharaoh's priest, or the Pharisees, not the Pharisees, the Pharaoh's priest snake. Basically, it's a parable about gambling. Moses or Aaron rod, depends on what Mandela effect you're actually in, but a snake going up a pole is a money symbol, right? All right, there you go. Now you're seeing it. See, this is what Jesus said in the book, that everything he said is a parable. Everything that's written is a parable. That means multiple truths. And if you go by Nietzsche, there's so many eyes of truth that there is no truth. And in the quantum mechanics, it's called an interference pattern. Everything is a wave and everything is a particle. It all depends on your observer. So if you don't believe nothing I say to your self-truth, everything I say is a lie. Right? That gotta respect it. It's free will zone in the universe. I'm not gonna get mad at it. All I can do is try. But then you have selective truth. I'm a Republican. I'm a Democrat. I like country. I like rap, or whatever group it is. Then you get into religion. But I try to use other things than religions. If you actually listen to Mike Tyson about why boxers wear red in one corner and blue in the other, he knows about it. He's a very intelligent guy. He's not as dumb as what people perceive him to be. But it's called Hegelian. It's a real old order ordo ab cheo, order out of chaos. So I just showed you an example. They take 70% of all these rich people who worked all their life to get wealthy or where they're at, whether they did it honestly or not. Right? That's a whole nother story. But they worked their whole life to get where they're at, to have a good chunk, 70% of it taken away, to put all that money towards, you can call it that New World Order. You could call it turning Walmarts into FEMA camps. I got photos of Walmart pumping tanker trucks of gas in their buildings. Don't ask me how I got these photos, but I got photos of, it says CO2 on the tanker truck, right? CO2, big pose going in the front of Walmart, pumping it in. It's known that casinos pumping oxygen to make their clients, I guess we'll call them that, they're addicts, kind of more docile, to gamble more, right? So they're pumping in pure oxygen. So the Walmarts are pumping in gas in the front of the building. So I go to the management, several Walmarts, and I ask them, can I speak to your accounts receivable? Because if they're ordering tanker truck of anything, truckload of anything, accounts receivable should know about it, right? It makes sense. So I asked for accounts receivable and asked them, why do you got a tanker truck? They stopped me and said, oh, that's for the restaurant. It was a Subway in the Walmart I got a photo of. I actually went to several other Walmarts. So I stopped the conversation, went to several other Walmarts, asked them, the restaurants, how do you refill your CO2 machines? Oh, we got a little tank we put underneath. I'm like, okay. So I asked the management again, so what's the accounts receivable? What is the tank truck? They throw me out. So I'm not saying they're pumping in gas to keep people zombie-like to throw more crap in their cart, right? But if you research what Walmarts are doing that are closed down, the FEMA can actually convert a Walmart into a FEMA camp in less than 8 hours. They can empty out a Walmart, turn it into a prison like that.
That's sad, though, isn't it?
Oh no, I mean, it all depends on your view. I think it's sad. What I think is even more sad, though, is if we would educate the masses on knowing how important we really are and how we're supposed to live symbiotically. Because you can say it's all the capitalist fault, but you know what? How do you become capitalist? It's all us normal, all us grounder, lower financially status people, not saying less educated people, but us people who are lower on the financial string, buying their crap that made them capitalists. I guarantee you their addiction is money. So if we stop buying their crap, they will change suit to make a quality product that's not poisonous. They would change in a heartbeat. So I think they're less of the problem than what the masses are a problem. Yeah, in a weird way. Because they'll follow suit pretty quick, because that's business. You supply and demand. And that's their shtick, and that's what they really get down on. So I'm not disrespecting or respecting it. I understand where they're coming from in a sense. But, yeah, I mean, we created, the only person we can blame is our own self. I can show you underneath every one of my cabinets here, I ain't got no poison. Bleach and ammonia is the only two things I have, and I rarely even use them. I use good soap for Dr. Bronner's, basically natural soap for my laundry, my hands, for my shaving, all that. But yeah, you ain't gonna find no chemicals in my place. I brew my own kombucha. I don't drink soda. Corn syrup bad. You think Willie Nelson's good? He might be a good-hearted guy. He might be a patsy. He might not be. I don't know. I'm not in his head. But he gives farms aids and not farm aids. He makes farmers onto the tip of a government and corporate America by subsidized farming. Instead of making farmers stay natural, organic, grow a quality product, they're all forced to get subsidized because they want that free dollar, basically. Say they're hard working still for it, but they're basically getting swindled out, growing corn, which we don't need. I'm just saying, we're all patsies. We're all being used.
It's very interesting talking with you.
I know it is.
But we're gonna have to go, because we do have another call.
That's good. No, go help somebody who might be struggling.
Okay?
I mean, I am curt, I am crass, I am quite a bit of smart ass.
Okay.
But, Jesus was supposed to come back with a sword. I don't think it was a physical sword. I think it was just more words that cut your spirit because it was too damn true.
Okay. You have our information. If you need it, so know of someone who does. Okay?
Oh, no, absolutely. No, I mean, I think they needed you more than I'm glad you came here. It makes my day be just whether you're listening to it or not, you're going to forget it as soon as you walk out the door. It doesn't matter. I got you on record. I'll post it.
Okay.
Make you famous.
Oh,
Thank you.